Hello everyone, my name is Kanav and I have secured an All India rank of 2 in AILET 2024 examination. And are you one of those who faces immense difficulty in maybe completing the newspaper? Are you someone who feels कि he wastes maybe 3 hours, 4 hours just on the newspaper and you just believe कि it's a waste of time इतने देर newspaper को देना and फिर भी इतना time देने के बाद भी you think कि I've not maybe covered it अच्छे से. And these are certain issues which everyone faces, including me. But in today's video, I'll tell you as to how you can ensure that you don't face such difficulties and what's the correct way to read newspaper for CLAT and AILET. And also we'll cover that which newspapers are good for CLAT and AILET. But even after maybe watching this video, if you have any specific doubt which I could not answer in this video, then do mention that in the comment section. We'll try to answer it there. And if maybe if that is also not sufficient, then here's a number. You can definitely reach out to this number and we'll get in touch with you. And then we'll definitely ensure that your doubts are solved with regards to any thing that you have. So any small doubt as well, if you have, you can definitely call on this number. So now moving on to the video. So the very first question that everyone asks is newspaper even important for CLAT and AILET? So very honestly, करंट अफेयर्स अब जैसे इस साल आया था पिछले 2 साल के क्लैट के पेपर में यू सी कि न्यूज़पेपर का इतना वैल्यू मतलब इनफैक्ट जीके पढ़ने का वैल्यू नहीं है बिकॉज आंसर्स वर देयर इन द पैसेज बट इफ यू लुक एट एलेट में दे हैव आस्क्ड such questions which you can get only if you're aware of what's happening throughout the year and you're in touch with newspaper and current affairs. And the best way to do that is again reading some daily newspaper. So given कि हाँ it is important, but there is also this caveat कि GK मतलब newspaper is not only there for GK, but it is also there for other and almost all the sections of CLAT and AILET except maybe maths and analytical. सो मतलब जो एडिटोरियल्स आते हैं उसी से हमारे इंग्लिश और लॉजिकल और लीगल के पैसेजेस बनते हैं तो इफ यू आर इन अ हैबिट ऑफ रीडिंग दोस पैसेजेस then it just makes the job easier for you. So that's why newspaper is a very great source not only for current affairs but also logical, English and legal. So definitely current newspaper is something which is very very important. But also ऐसा नहीं है कि throughout the preparation you have to read newspaper. There are batchmates of mine even who have secured single digit ranks in AILET and CLAT. What they used to do was that they used to have a different approach. They studied newspaper in the beginning of the year कि जब they wanted to build a base for English, logical, legal. Then they used to do that. But फिर उसके बाद for GK when they had that base, when they were going through such passages, solving mocks and everything, they just felt कि हमें इसकी practice नहीं चाहिए English, logical, legal की और करंट अफेयर्स हमारा कहीं से और सोर्स है जैसे मंथली मैगजीन पढ़ के हो जाता है तो व्हाई शुड आई वेस्ट माय टाइम ऑन न्यूज़पेपर so some people also do that. So it's very subjective you have to wear your line and then you have to take a decision ki what suits you best. So yeah, that's pretty much it. But now on to I have to read the newspaper. Supposedly I'm in 11th grade and I've just started out my CLAT preparation. Now I have to read out newspaper. Which one should I choose? So for that, I'll say you should definitely go for either Hindu or Indian Express or maybe both. So personally speaking, I majorly relied on the Hindu, but during the end of the preparation, I also started reading Indian Express and also specifically the explained section of Indian Express is something that I did not used to miss. क्योंकि वो एक टॉपिक को जो मेजर टॉपिक है उनको बहुत अच्छे से डिटेल में जाके कवर करते हैं, which is again exactly the thing that you need for CLAT and AILET. So that is something that I used to read. So yes, either of these mixtures or Hindu or in Express would work. Also, some people read Live Mint for economics and us sab ke passages. So again, that is something which you can also do. But now on to the third important question, which is there: how much time should you divert towards reading a newspaper? Ideally, it is somewhere around 1.5 hours to 2 hours. If you can get it done in less time, then that's also good. But majorly yes, आपको ideally 2 घंटे से ज़्यादा न्यूज़पेपर में नहीं मतलब अपना टाइम देना चाहिए. And also this time that you divert towards newspaper differs क्योंकि जब आपकी रीडिंग स्पीड ज़्यादा हो जाएगी, जब आपकी कॉम्प्रिहेंशन एबिलिटी ज़्यादा हो जाएंगी, जब आपको पता चल जाएगा कि what part of the newspaper can I miss out, then maybe now you're taking 3 hours to read the newspaper, but then you can get that time down to maybe 1 hour or 1.5 hour. So that's completely fine. But yes, ideally, you should be completing it in 1.5 or 2 hours. Now, the other important question that we have is that, okay, I have to get the newspaper done in 1.5 hours to 2 hours. So how do you exactly do that? Do you like what portions of newspaper do you miss and all that? So yes, in order to read the newspaper in this limited amount of time, you have to miss out a lot which is there in the newspaper. And trust me, not everything, even in the Hindu or the best of कभी हिंदू बहुत ही कभी कभार जैसे होता है जब इलेक्शन टाइम होता है तो बहुत ज़्यादा पेपर खाली होता है इतना हमारे वैल्यू का नहीं होता कि इलेक्शन न्यूज़ होती है दैट इज नॉट वी शुड नॉट कंसर्न ourselves with that. तो या वी कैन मिस आउट दैट बट यस मतलब अगर एक नॉर्मल डे का जो न्यूज़पेपर होता है उसमें आप समझो कि देयर इज ओनली 30 to 40% विच इज ऑफ इंटरेस्ट टू यू बाकी 60% समथिंग दैट यू कैन इग्नोर. सो नाउ द क्वेश्चन इज दैट व्हाट कैन यू इग्नोर. So I had this one strategy you told me a lot, and this is like specific to Hindu Avi. So what I used to do, I used to start off with the very first page. I used to just glance over the news क्योंकि मेजरली क्या होता है वो बस बताता है कि हाँ ये मेजर न्यूज़ है and उनको मेजरली और डिटेल में अंदर कवर करा जाता है अगर if it's important. But yes, so the very first page is at times very important. So go through that. Then I would look at page 2 to roughly 7 जो मतलब states वाले pages होते हैं. एंड आई जस्ट यूज टू सी कि ठीक है अगर कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट है तो आई रीड अदरवाइज नहीं एंड मेजोरिटी टाइम्स में नहीं होता. सो यस हियर इज द टिप. रीजनल न्यूज इज समथिंग दैट यू कैन मिस. अब महाराष्ट्र में एमसीएफ मतलब म्यूनसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन के मतलब म्यूनसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन क्या कर रहा है एंड मे बी मतलब कुछ भी सफाई अभियान चल रहा है दैट डज नॉट कंसर्न अस राइट. वी आर ट्राइंग टू लुक एट द न्यूज दैट मैटर्स एट द नेशनल लेवल. So miss that out. That's completely fine. Then you move on to editorials. Editorials are again very important. I तो even used to read editorials which are with regards to politics या फिर something which I know कि current affairs से related नहीं है. क्योंकि again I am reading newspaper not just for JK but also for other sections, right? So I want to ensure कि my reading comprehension is good and in different types of passages. So I used to do this. I did not used to miss out any editorial. I used to read all the editorials for the sake of reading them and developing a knack for these passages and everything. So I have to read the बड़े वाले editorials which are there. And now जो side में जो दो छोटे editorials होते हैं which are written by the Hindu and explaining some news. At times that is very important. And ideally that is the perfect passage that you get in CLAT and AILET. So I used to read that as well, and I used to time myself. I remember at first it used to take me roughly 3.5 minutes to read that one pura passage. But at the end, I remember I was able to get it down to 1.5 minutes. 1.5 minutes में मेरी comprehension was also good and I could understand what was there in the news. And yeah, 1.5 minutes to 1 minute इतने around के बीच because उसकी length भी differ करती है. But yes, so that's there. Then on to the next page, that is op-ed. So op-ed is again something important because it is again written by eminent personalities and such passages can come directly in CLAT and AILET. So go through op-eds as well. And the best thing is that sometimes you just get the counter opinion of something. मेरे को एक दिन तो याद है एक दिन exact ऐसा था कि title में editorial में it was something कि it was with regards to the 3 farm bills which are there. So it said that it is a very bad step, and that is something which was there in the editorial. The op-ed on the same second page had this why the 3 farmer bills are the best, like are a good step or something of that sort. So now I got like 2 counter opinions side by side, and this is exactly what you need for CLAT and AILET. You should know ki how can you differentiate between a point which is in favor of something and then another point which might go against it, some argument, counter argument. So this is something which is very great. So I used to go through these passages just to understand कि मतलब what are the counter arguments and how counter arguments are placed in a passage, premise क्या होता है सारी चीजें. I used to practice those concepts of logical through reading these passages and everything. So you should also try to do that, and that is again a very big tip I'll say. Now on to the next pages. That is majorly next 2 pages are of national news. These are majorly important क्योंकि ये national level पर जो important news वगैरह हुई है that is something which is covered in detail. So I used to go through them. Then moving on, I used to just glimpse through the economics वाला part of the paper क्योंकि इतना ज़्यादा CLAT AILET के लिए relevance नहीं होता. तो just see कि अगर कुछ बहुत major हो जाए, RBI ने अगर monetary policy में कोई significant change कर दिया है या फिर कुछ भी ऐसे मॉनेटरी पॉलिसी कमेटी का कुछ बहुत बड़ा डिसीजन आया है या फिर दैट इज समथिंग व्हिच इज ऑफ इंपॉर्टेंस टू अस. बट जैसे स्टॉक गिर गया, रिलायंस का स्टॉक गिर गया फॉर सम रिलायंस की छोटी सी एंटरप्राइज का अगर स्टॉक गिर गया, दैट हैज नो वैल्यू टू अस. so we can miss out on that. And now I used to finally read the world page, and world page mein I used to, because international news and usually important hota hai, so I used to pay attention there. And with this, I used to majorly just glimpse again through the sports section, जिसमें कभी कभी important आता, जैसे Olympics वगैरह चल रहे तो आएगा important news, otherwise नहीं आता. So I used to majorly glimpse through the Olympic section, or sorry, the sports section of the newspaper. So majorly this is how I went through the newspaper. So I just knew कि कौन से pages important है और कौन से नहीं, and I used to get things done very quickly. So yes, that is again how you should ideally be reading the newspaper. And thank you. And also on Thursdays we have this class for GK, and if you have like you wanna understand this more, yeah, free of certain doubts or anything, and this class is taken by me, so you can definitely reach out. And here's the number. You can just give a call, and this is absolutely free of cost. So yes, looking forward to seeing you in these sessions, and all the best for your CLAT preparation.